So I finished technically the 10th book that was gonna be the 11th, but now it's the 10th because I got it done first. So yeah, I finished Budget Witch, and I haven't talked about it for a hot minute, but I finished it, and I actually have the first round of notes back. I passed it off. Hubby is one of the people I have read through my witchy books, and he's really good when I need to beef it out, which I do need to do for this book. And so he gave me plenty of notes for me to add in because I do want it bigger, and I really wasn't sure what I wanted to add. So he was like, I would add stuff here and here and here. He's not really good for line edits. He's more of a general overview of it. And then I have my mom who reads the other half and is very much meticulous, like word by word, errors. Why did you use this word? This is a stupid word, kind of a thing. And like, this comma's out of place. Why is there a comma here? You need one here, not here. And that's her thing. So having those two together, I usually can not have my book suck too bad. So I've got his back. I'm working on it. And yeah, I'm also supposed to be working on what now will be book 11, which is the Cozy Mystery. And I'm just like, meh about it. So the main reason, wow, the light changed drastically when the sun went behind a cloud. Anyways, welcome to the Twilight Zone, apparently. So oh no, now we're back. Oh, okay, the weather doesn't know what it's doing. The lighting's just gonna be weird for a minute, it's fine. Anyways, so I have hit a new level of feeling towards my authorhood because I finished this book and I've been working on the next one and working on, you know, edits and stuff. And the thing is like, I have not had a lot of success for my writing, especially the now last 2 books. And so I've technically sold 1 copy of each, and that's it. And that's not really worth the amount of effort that goes into writing a book. And I'm at a weird place of where my career is as an author, because I go back and forth and I'm not in the vibe of authoring very much right now, because again, you put weeks and hours, so many hours of work into a book, and then it does nothing. Really, it takes about 2 months of work. 1 month is the drafting and major edits, and then the second month is minor fixes and publishing. And so to get to this place where you've spent all of this time doing so much work for nothing, it's kind of like, what's the point? Like, again, it's one thing where, you know, it's like, oh, well, I'm glad that I was able to do it, blah, blah, blah. But then also, like, it's really hard to keep working at it when it's not doing anything. And again, I'm not expecting to be a New York Times #1 bestseller, but I would like to buy a tank of gas. That would be great. Can't do that from the royalties that I make a month. It's really tiny. Like, I couldn't even go to Starbucks to get a cup of coffee. And not even like a nice cup, just like a normal cup. I couldn't even afford it. And that's before all of the prices go up. So like, there's just, I don't see how writing is like worth my time, is I guess the polite way to say it. And I've mentioned that before, of like hitting this wall of despair and just not feeling it. And I'm still doing it, and I'm still trying to hit my goals for this year, but it's not as passionate right now. And I know it ebbs and flows as my interest moves. I always come back to it, but also sometimes I'm like, and I think it's the Manny Gen within the manifesting generator that just bounces to wherever, and I'm content doing that, because I'm just not finding the success at all with writing, because I haven't had reviews for a long time. I don't have people talking about my books other than me and myself and I. And like, again, not having sales, and it just doesn't feel as worth it. Compare that to my other avenue of life, and like, I don't know, I guess I could also compare it to Patreon, where, you know, I have my consistent few, which is awesome. I love my Patreon peeps, but it's not a community space like I wanted it to be. I don't have any interaction really on my stuff. Once in a blue moon I do, but not really. And really where I have the most is for YouTube. And now that I've gotten monetized on my other channel, like, I'm seeing how quickly it's surpassing other things. And so far this month, it has surpassed my one book sale that I've had this month, which again was the curveball. I did not expect it to be the third book in my original trilogy. That was a wild card because I haven't sold the second ever. Still haven't sold a single copy, so that's wild that the third book would get picked up, but okay. And then that's it. I published a book this month, or I guess now technically last month, and so it hasn't even been a month though, and I've only sold one copy, and it's like I even discounted it. I thought that would help. No. And so I have a hard time trying so hard and putting so much energy and so much effort for next to nothing. And again, one sale is really not worth 2 months of work. And so instead, I'm noticing that YouTube, it's like I enjoy doing it. I enjoy reading books. I can do it a lot more on the go, and I can get ahead a lot easier. I can't really get ahead on writing that much because it's such a big project that you can't just speed your way through. And with reading and reviewing and making videos, I can very easily. And I'm having more fun with YouTube and seeing that already they're tied. Book sales, YouTube. YouTube I've had for like a week, tied already. This is gonna keep going. YouTube's gonna just keep going. And my book sales, I don't know if it's going to. And so I'm feeling like putting more energy into YouTube and taking books more to like part-time work instead of full-time, which is ironic, ain't it? I mean, my tagline still applies because I still do books full-time, obviously. But maybe instead of writing them, I'm reading them. Is that how it's always gonna go? Probably not. I know I'm in the ebb and flow of my focus, and I'm in the flow of reading more books and talking about books and leaning more into YouTube, but I can't completely abandon what I'm doing. And so it's more like I just do the bare minimum on the writing to keep it going, and then inevitably it'll switch, and then I'll kind of get bored reading all of the books, and I want to go back to writing all of the books. And so I have to go with the flow of this ebb and flow of my interest. And again, I think I would feel differently if I was having consistent sales and I was having discussions and, you know, I was having that community feel, where I don't have that with my books. And even if it wasn't the community, just the fact that, like, again, trying to do this as a job really does change your attitude. And I think that's just one of those things of, like, you know, it's not that I don't like, I don't know, I like being an author, but it is hard when you've published 9 books and you're barely selling 1 a month. And so I'm in a weird place with it right now, but I at least did finish my draft. I'm planning to get that published this month. But, like, am I going to publish 2 this month like I wanted? I don't know. Like, I'm just not feeling it right now. But maybe I'll feel better in a week or 2 and I'll just work really hard at it. But as of this current existence right now, I'm not. And, like, I like the idea of fiction, but also, like, it really doesn't sell. Ironically, this month it was the one, but I don't know that I want to continue pushing that because it's so rare that I sell those. And again, when you're wanting this to be a job, you got to figure out, like, where to spend your time. And if reading and talking about books is going to be the thing that actually pays, probably want to do that more than not and spending hours upon hours writing a book every day, and then, well, not a whole book in a day, that's insane, but writing chapters for a book to eventually in a couple months be publishing it, and then maybe 1 sale, and that's it. And it's like, you know, reading a book, like today I read this morning. Actually, I read 2 today. I read this morning, And then later in the morning, I read this one. And doing that, I now have 2 days of work pretty much done. I mean, I'm doing my recording time of the day right now, and then I'll get all of these edited and up, and then theoretically I could have the rest of the day to do whatever. And, you know, I could go work on my gardening. I'm getting spring fever really bad. It's getting to be nice weather. But like, you know, I could actually have time to do other things, where trying to write and do that, it's like, I don't have the time to do any of it. Like, I don't know. I'm just feeling very defeated in the fact that I still don't have sales the way I want it to. And I know that's not what writing is all about, but also it is a part of it. Because if you're able to write for fun and all of your financial needs are met and you're living very comfortably, maybe that's different. But I feel like the majority of authors and the majority of people are doing their job to make money. And if you enjoy your job, that's great. But at the end of the day, you still have to pay your bills. You still want to live comfortably. And YouTube is kind of becoming the thing that's making that more possible, more than selling books, which is not what I anticipated, honestly. And so I'm glad. I'm very glad. I actually really enjoy YouTube quite a bit more, because I feel like I can hit the dopamine hit of finishing a thing and be done, and you can like say that you accomplished the task. That happens so much more because you do see it start to finish in one day compared to a book that's 2 months. And again, the payback I'm already seeing more through YouTube every single day compared to hoping and dreaming and getting your hopes crushed every single day, where you're seeing no sales, no sales, no sales, maybe one, no sales for the rest of the entire month. I'm feeling the feels about it, basically. So anyways, I would love to know if you were an author and you've gone through this, like, what was your turning point? Or did you just be like, you know what, it's a part-time job. It doesn't need to be the full-time thing, and that YouTube could be the full-time part of the job, and writing books is the part-time. You can still do it, it's just more part-time. And like, maybe that's the thing to do. I don't know. Because if I was just writing witchcraft books and not fiction, that actually feels easier. And I could just plan it of like, get ahead, have a week of writing, go back to my usual content, and I could be ahead. But trying to do 2, that's really hard. So anyways, that's all I got for you today. So I would love to hear your thoughts as authors out there in the comments down below. And until next time, I'll see y'all soon.